Hello there, Cinema Drunks.
There's been a murder on the set of Cinema Gulp.
Our longtime friend and producer of the show, Sniffly Goose, has been murdered.
They fucking slit his throat!
So in order to figure out who murdered our buddy Sniffly Goose, we have to go to the land that he came from, that he's always talked about, but we've never seen, Gulpland.
Come with us to Gulpland.
Peppermint and apple pie, big fat bugs and flying kites,
Well, we're here in Gulpland!
Yes, we are, aren't we? The best place in all of the world.
Well, I'm Hank the Hammer.
And I'm Booty the Pirate Pleasurerer.
What is that? Pleasurerer?
Booty the Pirate Pleasurerer.
Who do you pleasure? We're supposed to review a movie!
Oh, really? What movie is that-y?
Oh, it's an
Autobiographical.
something.
Are we here to review the Happy Time Murders, eh?
Yeah, that's the one.
I'll tell you right now, that movie gave me scurvy.
Yeah, that movie gave me something. I mean, it made me want to take a big shit. It was so bad.
Hank the Hammery, what did you think of Happy Time Murders?
Oh, God, this movie was so bad. I mean, this movie had no reason to even exist. They've already made this movie in a better form a couple times before. It just sucked. It had no reason at all to be on screen.
I remember the best puppet movie ever made that reminded me of me homeland. It was called Meet the Deedles, and it had Paul Walker in it.
Feebles. Meet the Feebles.
I believe it was Meet the Deedles. Agree to disagree and parlay.
The introduction to the world of this movie didn't make any sense. They didn't take any time to introduce us to why we needed to have puppets and humans living together. It was just a very weak introduction to even why there was a reason to have this movie set up with puppets involved.
You know what, another thing that I had heard through the grapevine was that the script was actually over 12 years old. This movie got put in pre-production development hell for a last decade, and I would say the movie really shows that. It's very old jokes, they're very outdated, and the film just seems like it should have came out, I don't know, a decade, maybe 2 decades ago.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, but I don't agree that 12-year-olds should watch this movie. I mean, it does have some profane language in it. There's a lot of sex and murders and things like that, but they don't really use that to their advantage.
I don't believe I said 12-year-olds should watch the movie. Putting words into the mouth.
Well, agree to disagree. But what I was saying was that these movies, the ones they made before that kind of worked with this premise where they have puppets doing vulgar and adult-oriented kind of things, those movies used the violence and the profanity to their advantage. They really made some funny jokes out of that stuff and really shocked the viewer to kind of put these kind of settings with the puppets and the kid-like setting. But this movie just blew it.
I could not agree with you more. The violence was for the sake of violence. The profanity was for the sake of, hey, puppets saying the F word. And then the sex scenes, which again seem so outdated and old. Oh my God, look at me, this must be funny. I'm coming all over the place for 5 minutes.
I'm playing with my tool belt. I'm about to come.
Get away from me. So anyway, yes, this is one of Jim Henson's offspring, and they're calling this production company, I believe it's called for Henson Alternative, and I hope this is the last film Henson's Alternative makes.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get a second film out of this one. Fuck that, I would not show up to that. Well, one thing that I thought really sucked in this movie was the use of the talent in this movie. I mean, when it comes to any of the human actors, Melissa McCarthy, whatever, she's okay, she does her job in the movie, but she wasn't very funny. She's done such a better job before, but other actors like Elizabeth Banks, Joel McHale, and some of the other actors they had in this movie, they were just wasted. I mean, nothing really going on with these characters.
Absolutely wasted by the scaly whiskers of Davy Jones' beard, I say. Joel McHale significantly wasted. Maya Rudolph maybe had a couple of funny lines had they used her more appropriately. Problem with her, they made her too sweet. I thought that was going to be an undertone for something sexually and crazy. She does later on, but no, it never happened. Wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same thought. I thought they might go that direction with her character, but
they've got her giant bosom sticking out, I say, like a wench in the wet ocean.
When it comes to puppet voices, we know what we're talking about here.
Voices? What are you talking about, voices?
Well, I mean, I thought there should have been some celebrity puppets in this movie. Maybe, you know, that lead detective character, I don't know who played him, but there should have been a celebrity playing that voice. Something we recognized that really stood out and had some comedic timing, was kind of funny, because this was just dry, bland, and boring.
Because I want Johnny Depp to play me, not Gina Davis. Not only does it feel old through its screenplay, but there's no interesting techniques to the filmmaking itself. And I understand, because it's use of us, being puppets that is, that it's very difficult to create new and interesting, flashy ways to use the camera to make sure we don't, show the vulnerability of the so-called puppeteers. I've never seen these people. I don't know what that is, actually. That's a myth. But I do believe that it's a very flat-looking film with zero creativity behind the lens, aside from the fact that they're shooting puppets. What do you say?
Well, yeah, I completely agree with that point. I even thought the same thing myself. Early on in the film, they really did show the weakness of the puppet performance. I mean, come on, puppeteers. What's a puppeteer? I don't know. But they can do a good job. I've seen it in other films. And when it came to like a film like Team America, which is the best puppet movie ever made, they use it for meta humor. They were winking at the audience and making sure the audience knew the limitations of the puppet's performance and made some great jokes out of it. This movie did nothing like that. It just showed off how terrible the puppet performances were against the human performances, although those human performances were god-awful.
This movie does make one sad in the fact knowing the puppet world, since the death of Jim Henson, has never been and probably never will be the same. I don't care about his offspring. Cursed, they mean nothing to me. E.R.
Oh, Mr. Henson, we miss you.
We miss you so much. Your properties exist here in the heart. So, Hank the Hammer, it was nice talking to you about Happy Time Murders. I know both of us wanted more from it. But I'm gonna, if I had to, in this beautiful Gulpland that we live in, had to give this movie a score based on Gulpism, I would probably give Happy Time Murders a 4.
A 4? Oh, okay. Well, I thought, for a second, you said alcoholism. I was just thinking about my granddaddy. But,
sometimes I just say that.
Oh, well, you're a pirate. I figured you had a little bit of alcoholism. I was going to give this movie a gulp score. I would really just want to have a drink. I don't even think I want to give this movie a fucking score because it sucks so bad. One point I would like to make is if their concept of this movie was going to be that they were going to try and tell a hard-boiled detective story, a noir kind of story, there should have been, back to you talking about filmmaking, they should have done a little bit more to make it feel like a noir film. Maybe even black and white would have helped. But anyway, that's just this movie's problem overall. Terrible writing right from the beginning, bad casting. I'm going to give this movie a 2.
Very good score. Completely understand that score. I like it. I like you a lot, Hardhead Henry.
Oh, do you now? Well, I can't have none of that, so I'm going to go over here and play with my 2x4.
I'm going to go this way and go get me some Krabby Patties.
And you do that. Fuck off. That was a very interesting trip to Gulpland.
Yeah, we never did find out who killed Sniffly Goose, but...
Well, maybe we should have had detectives on the case rather than a pirate and a construction worker.
Well, you never know who you're going to get in Gulpland.
Very true. Well, Sniffly Goose, to the trash with you.
Yes, and since we just lost our producer, we are now accepting applications. Please send your resume to singulp1@gmail.com. We will make sure this does not happen to you. No, we can't make that promise.
That.
So anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like and or subscribe to this video today. You can leave some comments in the comment section below. Click like and or subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well.
And check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This is John.
This is Ben. We drink your cinema.
I drink it up!
Is this my guy?